Hello, my amazing fourth grade artists. Today we are going to be taking a look at leaves and we are going to draw them from observation. We are going to add color, maybe even use some fabulous watercolors to create our very own warm leaves, cool sky work of art. Let's get started. So today we are going to be drawing some leaves from observation, and then we are going to add detail using crayon and Sharpie and use some watercolor resist again. We are going to be working with two color groups, the warm colors, which are red, orange, and yellow, and then the cool colors, which are green, blue, and purple. It is fall. Fall is beautiful. There are all sorts of lovely real fall leaves that you can be picking up outside today. Let's get started. We're going to need a paper. We're going to need a protector sheet. We're going to start for sure with pencil and eraser. I will be using Sharpie, crayons, and watercolors in this demonstration. So for drawing leaves from observation, I like to start with just thinking about the basic shape of the leaf. So for this leaf, the basic shape is kind of rounded at the bottom and bigger like a letter U. Then it comes up kind of like a box, and there's a point. That helps me to lay out the start of my leaf. Now that I've got that, I can start thinking a little bit more specifically about what this leaf looks like. So it kind of curves out, and there are a couple points. Then it swoops down and comes out to a point off to the side. There's 1 point and 2 points, and then it comes into the middle. And this leaf, like most leaves, is symmetrical bilaterally, meaning if I was to cut it down the middle, it would look the same on either side. So I come out to that bump, I come down, I come out to a point, I come down, and I swoop out to another point, 1, 2, and then it comes into a little bit of a point in the middle there. That's pretty much what that leaf looks like. I'm going to drop a line down the middle for the veins of my leaf. This is what helps get nutrients out to the edges of the leaf. There's a vein that comes from the middle out to each of my points, so I'm going to include those. And then from each of these, there are some additional veins that go out to the edges. You can be even more specific than I'm being. Here I'm just kind of generalizing. That's about where those lines are. So that's one leaf that we can draw from observation. Like I said, there are all sorts of different kinds of trees. Each tree has a slightly different kind of leaf. So this leaf is a different kind of leaf. It's got a serrated edge. It's almost an oval shape, but it comes to points on each end. We can draw that leaf from observation too. This one's a little bit simpler. I'm gonna place this leaf down here. So I'm gonna start with an oval, pretty basic shape, and then I notice that this leaf comes to a point at one end and has just a little itty bitty stem. Now I talked about how this leaf has a serrated edge, so I'm gonna use kind of a zigzag line to talk about that serrated edge. Vein structure on this leaf is a little bit more simple. It's just a straight line down the middle with some lines that come out to each side. This leaf is similar to the first leaf that we drew. It's another maple, but this one came from a different tree. So the structure of it is slightly different. We could draw this leaf from observation. We would start maybe with that letter U shape again, and then come in kind of like a stretched out W. And that's almost the shape that this leaf is. There's just a few other details that we're going to add. So there's a little nub towards the bottom on each side, comes up, and there's 2, 3 nubs before the point. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on the side. And then here again, we've got 1, 2, 3 on each side. And again, I sort of drew that perfect like it is on the leaf, but not perfectly, and that's okay. The vein structure, like the other one, is very similar. It's got those 3 strong prominent veins to each of the main points. And then it's got some that kind of come up to each side and these are what carry the nutrients in the leaf. You can be more specific than I'm being if you would like, and then I can draw the stem. I'm going to bring the stem going off that way. And then I think the next leaf that I'm going to draw is one that I really like, but I didn't find it because there aren't any near me. It's called, and we can see it in this example here, it's called a ginkgo leaf. And it looks kind of like a fan or a mermaid tail, and I just think that that leaf is really fun. So I'm going to add one of those into my artwork as well. So I start off with kind of a block letter Y. I do kind of a wavy line and come in and make a letter V and repeat the wavy line off to the side. And it's got some just really strong, prominent veins that come in to a point in the middle on either side. I encourage you to go outside if you can and observe the different leaves that are around you. I will be uploading in the attachment some pictures of different kinds of leaves that you can study if you don't have that as an option for you. Once you've got your leaves all laid out, you are going to do some tracing with permanent marker to make the edges of those leaves really stand out. I put my protector sheet on underneath before I start tracing. When I'm done, I'm going to erase my stray pencil lines. During the fall, our leaves turn the warm colors, which are red, orange, and yellow. Sometimes we see leaves that go even darker and become kind of a burgundy purple color. Sometimes our leaves have multiple colors in them. We're going to be focusing on our main warm colors. I would like you to color your leaves in with crayon. Again, you can really study your leaf, try to draw from observation. In addition to coloring my leaves in with those warm colors, I'm also going to come in and use my white to add some kind of wispy lines in the background. Let's get started. Now for the background, I'm going to paint using the cool colors. To use my paints, I'm going to need a water cup. I will add a drop of water to each color. The cool colors are blue, green, and purple. If I've pressed hard enough with my crayon, it should resist the watercolors, and the paint will not stay in the areas where my crayon is. When I want to switch colors, I'm going to swish my brush in my water cup, swipe it on the lip to make sure it's clean before switching to another cool color. If I put two wet colors next to each other, they are going to do something called bleeding or mixing, where those colors are going to run together. As I'm painting, you'll notice that those white marks that I made are starting to appear because of the wax resist that I am using. The wax in the crayons resists the water in the paint. When you are all done, make sure that you clean up your area, put your painting somewhere safe to dry, and post it to Seesaw.